Well, folks, it has long been stated that all good things must reach their inevitable end. And unfortunately, this also includes my time with Sid Meier's Civilization 6. I will no doubt miss all the turn-taking, wonder constructing, district building, city settling, colony founding, culture shaping, war declaring, research doing, gold collecting, rocket launching, tourist attracting, aid providing, competition partaking, combat initiating, artifact extracting, policy setting, government adopting, religion spreading, landmark finding, barbarian fighting, vote buying, traitor sending, scandal fabricating, envoy giving, disaster witnessing, governor appointing, unit promoting, great person earning, all around exciting action I've seen through the 226 videos I've put on YouTube about this game, plus those 2 challenge videos I've done to celebrate 500 uploads and 50 subscribers. So overall, 13 playthroughs as 11 different leaders. Matthias Corvinus, Suleiman, Wilfrid Laurier, Dido, Ambiorix, Kublai Khan, Joao III, Qin Shi Huang, Julius Caesar, and Eleanor of Aquitaine, who I dumbfoundedly forgot to include as an AI leader this past game. So, oopsie. Completely on me. Of all the leaders I've played as in the past, not counting Ba Trieu of Vietnam, since the game chose her at random for my final game, I would say that Qin the Unifier was my overall favorite, because of his melee units having the ability to convert barbarians to his side, despite the unit then being permanently removed from the map, including vampires, just in case you decide to play as him and have secret societies enabled. Just a warning. The reason being is that I've always wanted a strong early game lead so it would be possible for me to achieve any of the possible victories available in the game. But the barbarians would often become too much of an annoyance for me to settle enough cities before anyone else can claim the territory I've explored as their own, thus hurting my chances of obtaining a victory of my choosing. Most notably the score victory at 500 turns, assuming no other victory type is earned by then. Some of the other leaders that were interesting to me included Eleanor of Aquitaine, who can have other players' cities join her empire outright without becoming free cities beforehand, Dido, who can move her civilization's original capital via a special project you can get while playing as her, and Kanuni Suleiman, who has an extra governor that you can appoint and place within other civilizations' cities. Now, I personally am not one for choosing least favorites when it comes to leaders, but if I absolutely had to, then it would most likely be Joao III of Portugal, because his civilization's ability restricts international trade routes from starting or ending on landlocked cities owned by others. I know I would usually rely on domestic trade routes more often to get projects done faster or increase my population further, but that could potentially be hurtful to how many options you would have for increasing your culture or science output, especially in the late game. The only saving graces I can see for Portugal is the plus 50% its yields get from trading, trader units getting plus 50% range over water, and Joao getting an additional trader whenever he meets a new leader from another civ. So, I guess that would even out the playing field. But, moving on. How did I like Civilization 6 as a whole? Well, that all rests on some of the most positive and negative things I've discovered since I began playing it back in 2017, when I got it for my birthday about a year and a half before starting my YouTube channel. First, a few negatives I'd like to address. One would be, as stated before, how plentiful barbarians would show up in the early game. It would be fairly hard to get lots of things done in the earlier eras if there was an entire army of barbarians. say, 4 or 5 units crowded around your first city, making it difficult to settle a second city before your rivals do, let alone a third one. I can't help but think that this was part of the reason why the devs put in a feature to disable barbarians from appearing in-game for any runs you want to do. The second negative I have would be how other civs would keep completing more wonders than I would, and I would build the same wonders over and over again, even though I know this may be part of a strategy they use to get themselves closer to earning a certain victory type. It may be me, but I wish there were many more ways I could get my city's production up so I could have a better chance of completing the wonders I want before my rivals do. The third and final negative I have is, well, I suppose I could say that even after all these years, the Golden Age sun still has yet to be replaced by a Heroic Age sun if you are in a Dark Age and have gained enough era score for a Normal Age. And vice versa if you are in a Normal Age. Yeah. This game is one that I enjoyed a lot. No mistaking it. But that would bring us to what I liked about the game the most. First off, I liked how the combat system worked, and how easy it was for me to understand. So the way combat worked in this game was a rock, paper, scissors style thing where melee units would be weak to heavy and light cavalry. The cavalry would be weak to spearmen, pikemen, or other anti-cavalry units. And the anti-cavalry would in turn be weak to the melee units. Also, it's always a plus to see my units healing up after a promotion or an upgrade, thus giving them newfound strength. Another positive I had with this game would be the fact that, if need be, you can wait until you are properly prepared to go to war with another civilization, as opposed to the Age of Empires series, where those who are enemies would have units fight to the death, almost always without warning, and the combat would be enabled right off the bat, though that would be a different type of historical game we'd be talking about. Though, at least with Civilization 6, the warning comes either through others denouncing or declaring war on you after moving their troops close to your borders. The third and final major positive I have about this game is how gorgeous the animations are when certain things happen, like discovering a natural wonder, launching a rocket into space, witnessing a meteor shower, and more. The only real issue I have about this, however, is that sometimes the camera would go over to where that animation is happening, even if it is nowhere near my territory, or at least poses a threat to its area. But maybe I could give a pass on hurricanes, since they tend to start on the ocean and can still reach my empire, like tornadoes, dust storms, and blizzards. So, taking all that into consideration, we go back to the question, how did I like Civilization 6 as a whole? My answer to that would be, generally, it had a few downs, but it had so many more ups, it was undoubtedly worth picking up and playing for its worth. It was a lot of fun for all its replay value and near infinite ways of writing history. I would definitely play a game or two more if not for Civilization 7 being out now, but it has long been stated earlier on that all good things must come to a close once again. But despair not, for it has also been said that you should celebrate endings, for they precede new beginnings. And the new beginning in question sees me playing Civ 7 for the first time ever not long after the new version of Cyanesque 111 begins. Like I said, I am very much looking forward to seeing how different 7 is compared to 6, regardless of whether these differences may be good or bad, and I'll get to see then how accurate to history writing the devs claim it is. And with that, we have, at long last, reached the end of Cyanesque 111 version 1.1. I will be taking a break for the next few weeks to rest and prepare for version 1.1.1, but for now, thank you for your undivided support. It means billions to me, each and every step of the way. And I will see you in Signesk 111 version 1.1.1. Take care.